What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and I just went all out leveling up the female of the brand new NEREID clan in Bloodline Heroes of Lithis so I could create this testing video and show you just how awesome she is. So I'm going to show you how I built her, what traits I selected, and team synergies, and we're going to try to determine if she might be S tier. But first, download Gemstone Legends, a mobile RPG puzzle match game. Use the link in the description to start with free stuff, including a bonus hero. Alright, so I already did a full breakdown video where I talk about the skills in a lot more detail, and I did a summons video where I added some more information, so make sure to go check out those videos. I'm going to add even more information to today's video because she's performing well on the battlefield based on my early tests that I did on my own. And that's kind of an update to what I had said originally, in which I said she was kind of a question mark. Either she was going to be awesome and better than the male, or she was really going to suck. And that's because she's got some unique abilities that we haven't really got to test before, but we are now. And that's going to really provide some clarity to her. So let me show you how I built her. Another additional piece of information from the previous videos, I talked a lot about agile. And I thought the key to whether she was going to be good or not was whether agile would make her knives go faster. And in my testing, agile didn't really seem to have much effect on the knives when she was in trance. However, it appears she doesn't really need to have agile. And in fact, I think agile is probably worse on her than other champions who do a lot of regular attacks, because when she's in trance, she's not doing regular attacks. Here's what I settled on. I went with, first of all, I leveled up to level 22 their title corrosion trait, which is reducing the amount of the enemy's damage. I put impair on her and got this sweet hybrid, by the way. The Kivok hybrids always look really, really good, but especially on her. And impair says increases enemies damage taken by 8% for 4 seconds when normal attacks or skills land on them, stacks up to 3 layers. So of course, that means you can get potentially up to 24% additional damage taken for each opponent, whoever she's decided to target. So that could be a lot of damage because it's more impactful than making your hero. I think this ability is better, by the way, than one we're going to look at, Fierce, which increases the amount of damage you deal. When an enemy takes on more damage, that's just more powerful. Also, I went with Plume Dance, and this is a trait that's actually kind of fallen out of favor with me more recently, mainly because of being limited to 15 seconds at the beginning of battle. But you know what? A lot of my battles where I focus on speed and strength go faster than 15 seconds. So this is usually active pretty much the whole time. And if it goes beyond that, it's not that big of a deal. This is a lot less useful for PvE, where she really shines a lot with some of her abilities. In particular, dealing damage based on max constitution, which we'll see later on in this video. But I thought Plume Dance, where we're increasing the crit damage by 130%, synergized really well with her abilities that increase crit rate. So if you get both crit rate increase and crit damage increase, you have the potential to deal a massive amount of damage. Also, I went with Fierce. I went with a damage trait instead of a defensive trait like Honorable. And that was one that I had debated on potentially putting on her. But I think the way I built the team synergies, I don't actually really need to focus on keeping her alive. I just need to keep her away from the enemies so she can be in trance as much as possible. And in that case, she's not taking a lot of damage anyway. But I'm increasing the amount of damage she's dealing. And of course, Brutal for strength is probably the best trait in the entire game because so much of the game is based on strength. And in particular for her, the damage dealt by Constitution is maxed. It's capped by the strength, so you do want the strength to be as high as possible. And then, of course, she deals damage based on strength as well. She is a champion who primarily is a passive skill champ, where the active and the ultimate enhance what's already happening. So she deals damage early and often, and she kind of ignores Bulko, which is why you don't see Pure Heart here. In fact, still, I'm a little uncertain about whether it's a feature or a bug, but she seems to completely ignore Bulko. And I had speculated that maybe that's because of the way that the ultimate is worded. There's some speculation now it just may be because of the active skill nullifying Balco. But in any case, this is how I went with her. I also put my best assassin equipment on her and went with the 3 hit runes, by the way. Just again, if I'm already maxing like crit rate and hit here with crit damage, I'm thinking she could do a lot of damage. So let's start testing her out. And why don't we start out in the arena? I'm going to start with my 3rd best team just to see how she compares to these heroes. This is my synergy team where I like to try to use female Tide Raiser to like group a bunch of enemies in the middle here. She kind of doesn't fit in with this strategy all that well, but I just kind of want to compare her to what else is going on here. She could just be soloing the other team potentially based on what I know about her, while the rest of the synergy works to clump heroes and create a situation where we got AoE effects going on. So let's see how this goes here. I am a little higher powered than they are, but I don't have Male Water and Sun, and they do. They also have Lupercal over there and Phoenix, and I am just slicing through the opponent like a hot knife through butter. So I'm just curious to see what the damage output looks at the end here. That strategy worked where I tried to put her in the back and keep the opponent away from her, because that's when you get the trance and the really big damage dealing ability. You can see by far, by far, she outdamaged the rest of the team. And every time I run this team, it is the male Almat and oftentimes male Sagaric too, who do the most damage in the strategy, like by far. And she has just more than doubled, like tripled the amount of damage that was being done with this. Let's try another match. All right, so I've promoted her up to my 2nd best team. However, I am very outmatched as far as power goes compared to the other team, and they have a purely meta team over there with their male Silken Crown, male Water and Sun. They got a Phoenix. They've got their own female NEREID over there. So this is going to be really, really tough. I'd be surprised if I won this one, but I want to see how she holds up. I just want to see what the damage output looks like at the end and her survivability and all that kind of stuff. So here, I just got her ultimate to go off. Remember, her ultimate is really focused on making her passive and her active do even better than it was before. All right, so I'm taking out some of their heroes. She is surviving a bit. It's going to come down to just the last couple. It's like our NEREID's versus... Uh-oh. Do we have a bug? Okay, there might be a problem with... it doesn't really look like a problem all that much, but whenever nobody is left on the battlefield except 2 female NEREIDs, their trances sort of just create this situation where they stare at each other awkwardly. That's really strange. Somehow I won that one. And look what my female NEREID did. Oh my gosh. Interestingly enough, she like way out damaged the Phoenix on the other side of the battlefield there. But their female NEREID didn't do as much work as mine did. So that might have something to do with the traits I picked in the build. You know, do take note, the vigor level on my female NEREID is a little bit higher. Most of the vigor level of my team is in like the 30s or so, and she's at 50s. So I'm curious what the vigor level is of the other opponents there. But yeah, my female NEREID was the star there. I think we can move on to top tier and see what she's doing there, because she's obviously owning the lower tiers. So now I'm going to face off against Fierce Daughter, who is in my guild, and she is absolutely the litmus test for if a new champion is good or not. She always builds her teams really well. You almost have to ignore the power level of her team because she builds her team so well. She is always like, she's deceptive in looking like she's a lower power level than her team outputs. Her team is so good. It's always so good. So I built the team this way where, again, I'm putting female NEREID in the back to try and keep opponents away from her, although the male panda over there might be a problem for that. But we're going to see. I'm always like 50-50 with Fierce Daughter. So we're just going to jump in here. The one spot in this team that is uncertain for me is male Corbett. Because he's the squishiest. Oh, I lost my male Water and Sun. Can I even come back from that? Oh my gosh. What happens when my male Water and Sun dies? I still won somehow. And it was female NEREID. Look how little my male Water and Sun did. My male Water and Sun did like almost no damage in this match. And look at that, 0 healing from the male Water and Sun, and I still won somehow. Oh my gosh, she's incredible. Look at all that damage, and look at the female Selphos too, by the way. She's doing a lot of damage because of how I built her too, and in particular, I have her enhancing the synergy of this particular team and how I built the traits and everything. So I've got male Silken Crown in there, by the way, to kind of control things, and female NEREID's coming in and cleaning up. So now my opponents are going to have a problem. If they're really focused on stopping male Water and Sun, they're going to have a problem with female NEREID. And strategies are going to have to focus on shutting both down, or they're going to have a big problem. All right, last one, I'm going to go up against Kanan, who I have absolutely no reason being on the same battlefield with. His team's power level is like twice that of mine. Oh my gosh, this this is kind of scary, actually. I expect my male Corbett to just die immediately, and I hope that my female NEREID just has a chance sitting back there. It's all going to depend on if she gets interfered with or not, I think. But let's just see how much damage she can do. I probably can't win this, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, see, my male Corbett died just absolutely immediately. This also looks like it's going to be whose skills go off first. Look, my female NEREID's still alive. Oh my gosh, she's still alive. Now she's dead. But how much damage did she do? Yeah, she's the superstar once again here. So even though I didn't win that, again, she like way outshined everybody else on the team. And my male Corbett died immediately, and he was often one of my biggest damage dealers. And so she's just, it almost makes me want to replace male Corbett in here. I don't know if I can, like, let's see if just moving some heroes around a little bit will help. Maybe I can put the spider in the middle, maybe, and put male Corbett out there. He'll probably still die right away, but and then maybe I can swap. Let's swap NEREID and male Water and Sun and just see if that has an impact. I had the setup to what I thought would be best against Kanan already, so I'm not sure that this positioning is going to be any better, but we'll try. I bet Corbett's going to die immediately again. Yes, he did. But hopefully he distracted the opponent just long enough for me to get my specials to go off here. Oh, I've got a whole bunch of stunned and silenced champions. I'm doing a good amount of damage this time, though. Oh my gosh, did I do it? I did it! No way! No freaking way! Oh my gosh. Wow. All right, so what happened here was I was able to get my male Water and Sun in a position where he was actually able to really do a good job. And he did more damage than the female NEREID. So while she was the star of the last match, I lost the last match. But when I was able to make male Water and Sun and female NEREID work in concert, like I said, the strategy is going to have to be focused on shutting them both down. And if they're both working in concert like that, I just took down an opponent who is like twice my power level with this. So at least in the arena so far, she is S tier. All right, now I am jumping into Guild Conquest, and there are a couple of opponents floating around the battlefield and supposedly stronger than this team, but we'll see because I just took out an opponent twice my power level. So let's go around here and see. This is the opponent we're going to hit. This one should be weaker. I should be able to take this one out pretty easily, so we'll see what happens here. Let's go ahead and watch this battle. I mean, that is a meta team as far as heroes go on the other side, but I am, as you can see, my power level is much higher this time. All right, yep. Easy, no problem. All right, this next opponent is over 300 million power. So it's going to be a little bit more evenly matched. And it is a meta team. We can see that they've got male Water and Sun and Phoenix, the male Silken Crown, Corbett. And I don't love the female Lionstone in the top teams anymore, but another dominant show. I mean, their team's power level is not even that far off of mine. And that just goes to show she's looking like an S tier hero in Guild Conquest too. Now we've got a Sails and Sabers matchup. We're going to go against a 283 million power team. I'll show you my other teams with the X2 on too, so you can just see how they do and what the team makeup is, just in case you're interested. But the matches should go pretty quickly. All right, here's where I'll slow it down. This is the 270 million team. So they have more power than I do. We'll see if we can... I mean, we're taking them out pretty easily. That was like no problem. All right, I'll turn the X2 back on. This is my synergy team, my third best team, but focuses on clumping the opponents together in one spot. Of course, the female NEREID's not on this team, and it's way outpowered too, but we'll see if my synergy plan works, where just basically everybody caught in the middle takes a ton of damage. I'm actually, this team is doing better than I expected, but I am starting to lose my heroes now. So I've already won the match because I got 2 out of 3. It's going to be hard to... Well, yeah, I unfortunately think it's going to be hard to overcome their Gala bar, so I may skip through this one. But hey, that third team actually did a pretty good showing here, being way outmatched as far as power goes. What? Somehow I did it. All right, moving on. Now let's try a little Valley of Conquerors. It did just start, so I'm not going to be able to face off against a bunch of opponents here, but... yeah, I'm more highly powered than this team, so this result's not very much a surprise. It's actually really just helping to pump my mana up here, it looks like. So there should be another opponent here. Let's grab that. Okay, this is a tough opponent. They have more power than I do. So it'll be really interesting to see. Oh my gosh. We just, right at the end, just got a power surge. Yeah, look at that. She's like second place in my male Water and Sun again. Way overpowering male Corbett. And male Silken Crown's not really a hero that I use for a lot of damage. Let's see, let's just take the long way. We'll go this way and then this way. And I'll just sit on the middle tower, and we'll defend and see if anyone can come take. As you can see, this just started here. So that's all the opponents I have for right now, but against an evenly matched opponent, again, very dominating win, especially like surprisingly as the match went on, there was just a surge of damage right at the end that got it for me there. So yeah, she's continuing to do really well, fitting in very nicely with my top team. Next, we're gonna go up against the raid boss, and the latest Bloodcraft champion here, which I'm using, has actually done a surprising amount of damage versus PvE. So really the measuring stick here is how well she's going to compare to that. Now, I mean, we're really going to be able to take advantage of her trance here because the enemy is going nowhere near her, so she's just going to fling knives the whole time. And then we've got the benefit of female Selphos and female Lionstone here, like boosting her strength up. And I'm not sure, like, I haven't used Agile, so I don't know that the attack speed... Honestly, she's probably just ignoring female Lionstone's attack speed. And, you know, to be quite honest, the timing depends on female Lionstone and female Selphos, just like female Dvala back in the day. If female Dvala's ult went off before female Lionstone, then she wouldn't even get the buff. And that could be the same with the trance here. So you kind of want female Lionstone and female Selphos ultimates to fire before you get NEREID females to go off, and that way she can get the benefit of the buff. Now, obviously, we've got basically like 2 minutes or a minute and a half, whatever the time is, of facing off against a raid boss. My gosh, I can already tell she's gonna have done a lot of damage here because I've nearly got this raid boss's health almost all the way down, and I was getting it about halfway down, I'd say, with just this the Heaven Sage Bloodcraft. Okay, that was a lot of life loss. Oh my gosh. So she is fantastic PvE. She did not measure up to Heaven Sage. Honestly, she's better PvP than I expected, and I would not say she's bad PvE, but she's not... I expected her to be like an all-star PvE, and she's great PvE. It's just she's so good PvP, and I didn't expect that. I really thought that against these bosses were where she was going to do most of her damage. Now, you gotta realize here that she has like half the vigor of the other champions that are here too. So when I really get her vigored up, her damage is going to be up there with the others. So do keep that in mind. All right, this is an annoying little bug with the male water and sun wave sound. I got to get off that. But my gosh, yeah, look, I took that from 20 down to 5 just with that team. I'll go ahead and blitz it there. So I think we've seen enough of that. And there you go, folks, our brand new S tier hero, female NEREID. And I think I got the traits right on this one because just with half the vigor of my other champions, she is out damaging them. She's often out damaging male water and sun. Like they go back and forth. And it's like whoever the opponent tries to deal with, either her or male water and sun, the other one ends up winning the match for me. And this is going to be a really difficult meta team to deal with. I think I had the right team synergy and I have the right comp to go with this. I'm very focused on high strength. You can see this build is similar to how I build a lot of the other champs in my top tier too, where we're just focused on high strength and speed. And basically not even, there's no defensive traits. I'm not trying to protect myself at all. I'm just trying to beat the other team as fast as I can. And she performs really well, both in PvP and PvE. But what's surprising to me is she's an even better PvP champion than in PvE. And I think if I had her as highly vigored as my other champions, she'd be dealing just as much damage PvE as my other top champs at the same vigor level. But in PvP, she's outperforming. And that tells me that when I get even more vigor on her, the team is going to be real hard to beat. And I have a feeling we're going to see her in a lot of the top teams now. And so I get like a week to just crush teams before we're just facing a whole lot of male water and sun and female NEREID. But I do think that the other 3 slots in your team out of 5, you can have some creativity with. You can go slower, more prodding. It's just my style to have high strength and speed. But other people like to be more controlling, and that's okay. I think a female Galabar build with this could potentially be really, really good. Obviously, the Kivak clan, there's builds with that and Askavarj that are going to be really good with her as well. Especially if you think Askavarj just like pummeling the opponents and pushing them away from her so that she's more protected while she's in trance. I mean, there's lots of things that you can do, and she's going to slot right in. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and I will catch you in the next one.